What's going on, guys? Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. So today I'm going to talk about my next big cryptocurrency play, right? And this is actually going to be the biggest coin and the biggest holding in my crypto portfolio, right? So if you take a look at this list, can you guess which one it is? And if you just take a look at the top right, the website here, I think you know which one it is, right? So it's actually FTT or FTX token. So just a brief overview of FTX. It was founded in 2019, and FTT is basically the utility token for FTX, right? For reduced fees for OTC as well as other purposes, right? So we'll take a look at that a bit later. So let's just go through the market cap right now. So this market cap is wrong, I think, but the fully diluted market cap is what I'm focused on, and it's around 8 billion, right? So at this point, it's enough for me to start nibbling and start establishing a position because as you can see later, it is at support right now, right? So down 71% from the all-time high, just about everything else. So Bitcoin is actually down 70%. So it's actually just quite stable, right? Considering like the returns that you can achieve. And we take a look at Max. From the bottom, it's still up about staggering maybe 15 or 20x, right? Somewhere around there. So we can see the all-time high was here back in September at $84, and now it's sitting at what, $24. So I do think that maybe we are close to the bottom, and I'm going to show you my logic for investing in this, right? So this is like the same investment thesis with like the Binance coin, right? And in my opinion, FTX will be one of the biggest derivatives exchange out there, right? So I would put this three on the top of my list. So FTX, Binance, and also BYBIT, right? So I have links for them below. So if you guys want to use some discount codes or whatever, you can use it below, right? But basically, in my opinion, I think this tree will be huge. Bybit is already huge, so they have like 10 million users or something like that, right? It's quite insane actually. And Binance is already huge, so I think FTT is like the upstart, right? The one that is coming. So I do think there will some of the returns will basically be captured by this token as well. So let's just take a look at the circulating supply. This is why I say the market cap is probably wrong. On their official website, it says 4.5 billion. And the pending burn, this is one of the biggest theses for my investing, right? So the burn amount is actually 20 million FTT. So out of 300 over million, so this was probably 350 million. That's maybe 8% less in circulation right now, right? Is it 8? Yeah, somewhere around 8%. So $488 million, and bear in mind that it was only founded in 2019, right? So it's just been through one bull run, and the burn is 500 million, right? Basically. So now if we just pull out a calculator and we just use the current burn rate, right? So like 3.2 times 52. So 166 million a year. But I don't think that is very high, right? Considering FTX is growing and we're actually in a crypto bear market right now. So if we take a look at the buyback and burn, so this is probably like one of the best weeks in like their buyback and burn program, right? So 10 million. So I think I can conservatively say that in the next bull run, right, it will hit probably a peak burn rate of maybe like 15 to 20 million, right? And around that range, let's say 15. So I do want to stress that you do have to time your exits for crypto, right? Because obviously this 15 to 20 million burn, it won't be forever, right? So even if you use 15 million as a conservative estimate, it'll be burning 780 million, right? So if we just take a look at how much the market cap is now compared to how much is being burned, right? So let's say it's 8 billion divided by 780 million. So you can see that if you take a look at maybe 2025, let's presume the next crypto bull run is 2025. If you take a look at 2025, it's trading at a 10 times basically price to burn ratio, right? And I think during the euphoria of a bull market, I think it can easily be up to 30 or 40 times price to burn program, right? So just that alone will help you 4x the price, right? So I don't think people use these metrics to value things, but just for simplicity's sake, right? So to give you to gauge sort of how to value the thing, right? Because if you just look at the price, it's not really going to help you, right? So let's take a look at other reasons for wanting to hold FTT, right? So if you take a look at FTT, the biggest amount is obviously 5 million. Let's not talk about that because none of us are going to reach that amount maybe so fast, right? So maybe we can take a look at 10,000 and you have 15% discount fees on your FTX balance, right? So let's just presume that if you have 100,000, you'll probably have 10,000 in FTT just to save yourself some trading fees, right? If you're a trader or whatever it is, right? And I know it's not really fathomable that a lot of people have this kind of money, but a lot of the traders that will come onto this platform probably have this amount of money, right? Like 100,000 or 50,000 or something like that, right? So obviously they won't put it all into FTT, but they will buy some of it, right? And then there's also OTC discount and weekly SRM airdrops, right? But I do want to say that if you have below, you're planning to buy below 500 FTT, there is no point staking it for the airdrops, right? Because you actually don't get the airdrops. But I'll show you how to get some sort of yield on it afterwards. So stake FTT up to 40% referral rates. So you can see that even influencers would want to buy FTT because you can obviously get some referral rates, and up to 6 IEO tickets, right? This is also very important because, so if we take a look at returns by platform, right? So you can see that Binance Launchpad is obviously number one, right? So all-time high returns, this is a 200x, I think, for its all-time high, right? Average all-time high return. So the next actually you can see it's actually FTX, right? And obviously these numbers will go down, right? Because Binance started in 2017, right? So they captured all the earlier projects that went like hyperbolic, right? Something like Matic, basically it was like a 1000x at one point, right? So let's take a look at that. So Axie Infinity was on Binance Launchpad 1600x, right? Oh my god, that's insane. Can you imagine you put $1 and you get 1600? So Matic was also a 1000x, Sandbox was a 1000x, Elrond was a 1000x, obviously significantly down from then, but I don't think you'll be complaining if you got in at the launchpad price, right? So we can see that all these launchpads are also important. So you can see Steppen and also YZX is also on here. So that's why you can see that Binance's returns are actually crazy skewed to the average all-time high, right? But I don't presume that you will see too many 1000x's in the crypto space anymore, since actually the crypto space is starting to mature. There's institutional investors and there's more money coming in, right? So that when there's more VC coming in, obviously there's less of these opportunities for us. But you can see that FTX is the second highest on this list after Binance. So during the next bull market, I think there will be some people that wanted to buy at least 750 to get this IEO tickets, maybe to ride it to the moon or something like that, right? So if you stake more than where is this 1000 FTX space here, you can get a 6% relative airdrop increase, right? So I don't recall where it is that they say you have to stake at least 500 SRM before you get any rewards. But I did read that, right? And I have been staking my FTT and I haven't gotten any rewards, right? So someone fact check me if I'm wrong, right? But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So we will repurchase burning tokens by 33% of the fees generated by FTX markets, right? So now back to the calculations, right? Do you think this company FTX can actually make 60 million every week, right? So let's say during the bull market, 60 million every week, is that very feasible? Let's say if 60 times 52, so 3.1 billion in a year, right? So is that feasible? I think it's possible, but not I wouldn't say it's an easy milestone, right? But I'm pretty sure Binance made that amount during the last bull market, during the peak, right? So that's why I say you have to time your exit for all these crypto tokens as well, right? Because the run-ups are very euphoric, right? It's not like the stock market where it's like fundamentals increase, then the stock price increase. So this is more like the price discovery period of crypto, and it's basically like after the dot-com bubble, right? So the run-up, I think the run-ups will be crazy, and then the fall downs will be also, the bear markets will also be quite crazy, right? So thinking about it, whether it can reach 3.1 billion, I think that's perfectly feasible, right? And 10% of net additions to backstop fund, socialized gains, and 5% of fees for other users of the FTX platform, right? Because they have like staking, maybe interest on your deposits, or interest on your lending out assets, or interest on perpetuals and stuff like that, right? So this is my investment thesis on FTT. So if you're enjoying the video so far, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button and press on all, right? So this will really help out the channel, and also watch till the end, right? Because obviously you don't want to miss any important information. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was also how you can earn a yield even if you don't have so many FTT, right? So you can see that I bought somewhere around like 25, right? I started to buy around 25, so sitting a bit underwater right now. But of course, I avoided this like huge catastrophic decline, right? So yeah, sitting quite pretty right now, and I really did buy because of this supports here. Some of these supports here, I think, yeah, somewhere here, and now we're running into another support, so quite a lot of heavy support. So use some technical analysis, but basically my whole thesis is based on fundamental analysis, and I want a 10x from this, right? So I'm not coming into crypto looking for maybe a double or a triple, right? If not, I'll just buy some stocks, have more safety, and actually own the securities, right? But I think it's quite feasible that this FTT in the next bull run, maybe 2025, at least for a while, right? I wouldn't say it will last there forever, right? But at least for a while, it might do a 10x, right? So eventually, I do see this token at a very, very high price, right? Maybe like even like 1,000 or something like that. But this will take, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, right? So this is the other way that you can earn some yield on your FTT if you don't own above 500, right? And it's actually not to buy the asset itself, but to buy a derivative on top of the asset, right? So basically, this is FTT perpetuals, which is futures on FTT. So it's a derivative built on top of the asset, right? And do check with the relevant tax authorities or whatever it is, how this affects your tax bills and all that, right? Because I'm no expert on tax, and I'm personally not doing this, so I'm not really that in tune with whether there are any consequences. But you can see later when I do the calculations what I mean by getting some yield. And I also strongly do advise against using leverage in the crypto markets as well, right? So Warren Buffett has always said that if you're smart, you don't need leverage, and if you're dumb, you won't want to be using leverage, right? So basically, there is a funding rate here, and what the funding rate is basically every hour the shorts will pay the longs this amount, right? So let's say 0.0016. So when it's negative, the shorts will pay the longs. When it's positive, the longs will pay the shorts, right? So this is not an exact science, right? But like if you times this by 24, which is 1 day, and you times it by 7, and it times it by 52, right? So you can see that you can get a 13% yield, right? So obviously it drops, it goes up and it drops as well, right? So you ask who's paying this yield? Is basically the short sellers, right, that are paying this yield, right? Because they want to short the asset. So 13-14% yield, not bad. So if you, let's just say half of the time it goes negative as well, but most of the time it's positive for the longs and negative for the shorts, right? So basically most of the time, I would say about 80 to 90% of the time, the shorts will pay the longs, right? Because that's just how it works, right? Because if you own the asset, if you're long the asset, means you own the asset, right? If you're short the asset, means you borrow and then you sell it off, right? Which means that technically you need to pay interest, right? And the longs obviously don't need to pay interest because they are lending out the asset. So if you take this number and you just times it by 0.8, just to be conservative, 80% of the time, it's still an 11% yield, right? And this will get paid into your account every hour, right? So those people who are obsessed with passive income, maybe they'll be very happy to see this. If we take a look at ETH as well, right? So we can see that I made the correct call when I said this would be, I don't see ETH going higher, right? So in the last video, we were trading around here, and I somewhat said that I don't see ETH going any higher after this, right? Because there was like the merge hype, there was the Bitcoin pump, and then the CPI print and actually came and dumped this, right? So I couldn't have predicted the CPI print. As I said, I didn't have very strong opinions on it, but you can see that I was right about the post-merge dump as well, right? So I didn't make any plays on it, so it doesn't say much. But we can see that this is actually a buying opportunity for us, right? If you want to buy ETH or what, I think this would be a good buying opportunity. That's my opinion. So the merge obviously didn't pump the price, right? As I expected, right? Because a lot of people were buying here, thinking that it'll pump the price, buying maybe for the airdrop or whatever reason, right? And we can see the airdrop is not trading that well either, right? Let's just see ETH. So you can see the airdrop is trading at $10, right? So if you lost $10 on the real ETH, basically it wouldn't have been worth it, right? And I think most people would have bought around here. So they would lost like $300 at this point. So definitely not worth it to buy things for airdrops, right? Because a lot of people will be thinking to do that and they'll get overhyped and then you end up losing money, right? So not worth it. So do I think we have reached the ultimate bottom for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market? I think my answer is no, because we still have a lot of bad macro news coming out, right? So Europe recession hasn't even been announced. They are tightening economic policy there, which might break something, right? Because as we know, Europe is a very indebted country. So the US also are hiking interest rates like crazy, so might break something there as well. So there's a lot of margin for error, but I'm still buying, right? So I'm buying, but I'm not going all in. Maybe I would say my portfolio is around 70 to 80% cash right now. So still buying, but slowly nibbling. Below 20k, I'm a buyer, right? So but again, I'm slowly nibbling, right? I don't want to be all in and be caught out with some I don't know, Russia drops a nuke on Ukraine or something like that, and the markets are down 50%, and I don't have any liquidity lying around, right? So this is still time to be cautious. For me, it's still time to be cautious, but I'm cautiously optimistic, right? So I'm starting to build positions, and also I'm starting to become more bullish on the market, right? Because a lot of these things have been sold off like 95% or 98%. Crazy numbers like that, right? So basically, if you got in on the all-time high, you're basically wiped out right now, right? So this is where I want to start picking up some quality assets. So I will cover more of that in my future videos, right? So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. And with that being said, have a fantastic day ahead and peace out.